computer. So yeah, thank you so much for the fun icebreaker. We still have some really fun, exciting ones, so we'll just kind of keep using them as we enter into our Zoom calls. But yeah, today we're going to do a couple of different things. We are going to share out with each other some of our app ideas and get feedback. We're also going to do the introduction to wireframing. There's a PowerPoint that I'll kind of run through with you guys, and we'll also be using Kahoot today again, which will be fun. So excited to kind of go into all of that with you guys. We're going to try something a little bit different today, where we're going to do really small breakout rooms, and you guys are all going to kind of show or just tell each other what you're thinking about for your app prototype, and you guys can get feedback from each other of like, this is a great idea, or have you thought about this, or have you considered this aspect? So that way you guys can kind of get a sense of, you know, maybe questions that you wouldn't have thought about otherwise, or ways that you can kind of enhance your idea or help each other out. And I'll be hopping around between the breakout rooms to kind of listen in a little bit and see if you guys have questions or anything. So we're going to try to have like only a couple people in each breakout room. So I'm going to just create those. So basically, if each person in the breakout room can share what they have so far, it can just be like, here are my ideas. I'm not really sure which one to go with, or this is what I want to do, and this is how I'm going to do it. What do you guys think? Whatever stage you're at is totally fine. Because again, I just asked you guys to submit what you had at this point yesterday. Hey, Alyssa, I'm glad you could join us. We're just about to get started and doing some breakout rooms. So we're going to be sharing kind of our ideas at this point for our app prototypes in really small breakout rooms. So we'll be able to kind of get feedback from each other. So again, I want you guys to also interact with as many of you guys as possible. So we'll do like a breakout room for like, you know, probably like 15 minutes. So we can each girl have like 5 minutes. And then we'll kind of rotate so you guys can continue to meet new people and get more feedback. So let me see how we can do this. All right, I think what we're gonna do is have 3 to 4 participants per room, and I'll hop around between the rooms to kind of listen in and maybe ask some questions or see if you guys have feedback. So have in mind kind of what you want to share, as well as just, you know, we're always going to be positive in terms of our feedback. We're not going to be like, this is the worst idea in the world, but we also can ask really good questions about like, have you thought about this, or how feasible is that, or how does this really help your country, that kind of thing. So it's definitely important, like Tama told us during the design thinking, just to ask a lot of questions and kind of continue to refine ideas. So it's totally okay if you have multiple options. We'll just kind of go through this today. So let me just pull this up. Okay. Let's see if we can get, I'd like to have just 3 per room if possible. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so we're gonna have 3 tech girls in each room. So each take 5 minutes to kind of share your idea or ideas at this point, and, you know, exchange some questions and, you know, rotate with each other. So we'll do about 15 minutes, and I'll hop around. If you guys need more time, we can give you more time, and then we'll just do another kind of group to that. So yeah, I'm gonna put you all in your breakout rooms and enjoy. I'll see you soon.
I chose is sexual harassment, and I was thinking of making an app that has 3 features. The main feature is to help in case of a problem if the person is facing sexual harassment or something like that. So I've thought of having the app track your location and sends it in case of an emergency to contacts that you choose. along with a pre-written message that you write previously. Another option is just to call the local police directly, or there's an alarm. So when you activate it, it makes this very loud noise to scare the the attacker.
Mm.
Also, I've thought of including a feed where we post articles about, for example, how to press charges in case of an assault or something, or how to protect yourself, to educate women or the user in general. That's it.
That's actually really nice, and it's so useful because unfortunately in our country, like several women suffer from sexual harassment and nobody cares. So that would be great, not only in your country but across the globe as well. And yesterday I read your app handbook. I didn't know that such apps actually exist. Like I was really surprised.
Same, and the thing is, all those apps don't work in Tunisia at least, or most of them work in the United States. So
Exactly. Um, concerning what actually at first I didn't know what to do. Um, I didn't have so much ideas. Now my country is passing through a lot, so I wanted to do something that I could help maybe. So the only thing I thought about in this short period of time is the coronavirus outbreak. So now the number of cases are increasing highly in our country, and I realized that in every country there's an application for Corona that traces the application and helps to contribute and n- for the virus not to spread. So I thought like my country could use that as well. So why not develop such application? So what happens is that it we in the application we get the latest updates from the issued by the government. There's like the number of cases and like near your location it alerts you if there's a nearby case and that you should need to be careful. As well, I thought that it would be good
I want to say like to
fundraisers, like
huh?
creative fundraisers for them.
Yeah, and then you can always have, like you said, professionals, but you can also have professionals who are willing to volunteer their time to educate those.
Yeah.
And like have that as a feature. It's like, oh, if you want to like learn about this, like you can reach out to this person for free, or and then and like an emergency button, like if something were to happen to
Yeah.
one of.
Suicide prevention and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Um.
I think it's a great idea, like you took the empowerment of women route. I guess you can like connect them with courses, like not like with professionals. Like get them the link for courses, for free courses, of course, and they can enter it. Like I don't think there's much professionals who could volunteer to learn
Yeah,
them.
courses out there, yeah.
It's probably a better idea. I like your idea, but that's a good idea.
Lena, would you like to go next, or should I?
You can go ahead.
Okay. So my idea is in my country, there's a lot of small business owners who can't afford having an accountant every month to do their documents and all of that in a legal way. So also, there's not enough volunteers in the field of financial things, so they could learn like small students about it. Like me myself, I had an activity that I should do financial documents, and I couldn't find courses or volunteers to learn me. Like I had it to search Wikipedia and a lot of websites to get informations, and like they were totally different. So my idea basically is that I want to do an app that has all the financial documents that a business owner needs, financial documents and the financial terms. Also, what else I thought about? The equations that he might need, like to count profits and all of that. Put them in the app, and like he enters the app, either he is a owner or a student. Like he enters the app, chooses what he wants. Like if he wanted documents, he would choose one document. It would tells him the purpose of the document, and it would show him the form of it. If he finds difficulty with,
so the app will help. It's more for moral support. It will give advice. For instance, if you fight with a friend, get sick, or I don't know, if it's for girls, for instance, if you have your first period, what to do, if you can talk with your parents, if you don't have friends, if you don't have someone to rely on, or etc. And second, to help young parents from orphanages. Did I pronounce it correct? Orphanage. Just
Yes.
okay. Yeah, thanks. And there will be advices, and also, for instance, if they're young parents from orphanages, they don't have experience, so they don't have somebody like their parents in order to help them, and the app will help them with process, what to do, when to do, and stuff like this. And also, there will be built-in app will build in a map that you're pushing the button. For instance, your how to say, for instance, time is up and you're making a child, or how to say, you need to go to hospital. And for instance, if you don't know where is the hospital, you're pushing a button, and the hospital and the signal goes to the hospital, and car comes, you're going to the hospital, and happy ending. Why I thought about this idea, because with my mom and my organization, we are really often go to orphanages, go to, I don't know, homes for the elderly, and I always asked about what I can help you, how I can help you, and teenagers said me that we need a kind of support from others. We want.
Hey everyone. Thanks so much for coming back. I think we have almost everybody, if not everybody, in the room now. I hope it was fun to be able to kind of share some of your app ideas and some feedback as well. Does anyone want to share anything that was cool or interesting that they learned about someone else's app idea, or some feedback that was valuable in their own kind of brainstorming process? You can just unmute yourself and share.
Me and Ruhi actually shared the same idea without knowing. So it was exactly the same app.
Really? Oh my gosh. What's the idea?
The idea is linking students with mentors.
Very cool.
To kind of ask them questions and discuss future careers and what they're gonna face in university, etc. But each one has a local idea for their country.
For sure, yeah. It's gonna look very different in Algeria versus the US, for sure.
Yeah, even the idea will be different because our educative system is not the same. So.
Awesome, that's great. Anyone else?
So I just can share my idea in order to get feedback.
Sure.
I have two ideas. First one is for teenagers support. It's more moral support, where you can find advices. For instance, if you fight with your friend, what to do. If you get sick, what to do. And I have got an interview from my friends, from girls from orphanages, from just from streets and somewhere else. And I usually visit with my mom and with my organization on summers. We visit orphanages, and I have asked from girls, and they said me that we don't know what to do with we have our first period. We don't know what to do when we fight with our friends, and just we don't have anybody to talk with. So that's why I think that this app will help them, and that's why there will be gather all advices, what to do, when to do, and like this. Second one is help for young parents from orphanages. There also will be advices like, for instance, if your wife is pregnant, what should you do? What should you drink, eat, what you shouldn't do, and some stuff like this. And one feature is that, for instance, when time is up, for instance, when you have to, in order to take a birth, if I said it right, so you have to click a button and the signal goes to the hospital, and in the hospital there's written in the computer that for instance, Kamal Tasmina is from this, and she's living here, and they're then sending a car to your home, like this. So any feedbacks?
Any questions or comments on Takmina's ideas?
Oh, it's perfect. I don't have any questions.
I think it's a really, those are really useful. And I think that I'm sure in Tajikistan, they're so needed. And I think that honestly, globally, they would definitely both be very, very useful. I think that just a kind of suggestion or comment is as you're kind of deciding which one to really pursue, start thinking about the next steps. So in terms of the kind of prototyping and wireframing process, like in terms of what you really want the app functions to actually have, what, you know, purposes do you really want it to serve? Definitely for our purposes, since, you know, we have basically about a week left, definitely think about what is something that you could also kind of develop, you know, in the next few days of the program, but what's something that you really want to continue after the program. And I heard a few girls talk about thinking ahead, like what are organizations or businesses, or what are ways that, you know, we as the TechGirls team could kind of support you following the program to kind of make these things a reality. So think about too, in terms of feasibility of like what, given your network, given your community, given the support that we're giving you, as well as, you know, networks we could give you after, just think about what do I really want to, what can I see kind of going further? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you guys so much. I did want to take a couple minutes. I heard some really great resources that girls were sharing in the breakout rooms about different kind of wireframing and prototyping tools. Obviously, I've mentioned and provided the kind of information on a free resource called Balsamic, which you've seen. So I'll just put the link in here too. But I've heard a bunch of others in the breakout rooms. Can you guys share again with the whole group what were some of the tools you know about or you're interested in doing? Because other girls might be interested in that as well. Addison shared Figma, which is great. Addison, can you tell us a little bit about that tool, what it does?
I like Figma because it's a good wireframing tool. You can do some pretty basic things like create different shapes and type text and do font sizes and everything. And then you don't have to be super artistic to do it, which is nice. And you can also include images and whatnot. So it's like a pretty good basic wireframing tool.
Awesome. And it's free, correct?
Yeah, it's free. If you want to like collaborate, it kind of like you have to pay, but other than that, it's free.
Awesome. And Lena, you just put Thunkable in the chat. Can you tell us a little bit about that resource as well?
Yeah.
I also wanted to put Thunkable.
Yeah, okay.
Basically, Ruby can add anything I missed, but It's just like a block-based like building app. So you use block code to build your app. You can design it on there too and like get all the features if you want, and then you can see all your screens. So there's like the design part, and then you can like add the code to it or like the blocks to it to make it like functional. I think it's pretty easy. Sometimes it's a little like quirky to use, like you just have to do certain stuff, but it's like pretty straightforward if you mess around with it a little bit. Yeah.
Awesome, thank you. Other tools or resources that anyone wants to share? App Inventor for sure. It's a really great resource. Takmina, are you able to share a little bit about App Inventor for people who don't know what it is?
So App Inventor is a kind of like a Stankable, but as I know, in Stankable you can create an app also for iOS, for Android, for Apple. But in App Inventor you can create an app only for Android. It's for creating an app.
For sure. Thank you. This is the website from MIT if anyone's interested in that. Something I heard someone else mention as well is if you're looking at doing something more web-based, a great free tool is Wix in terms of designs. And that's something that would be helpful if you're looking at something kind of more website-based. Robbie, I saw you put in something. Can you share a little bit about what this tool is?
So this is like most of the websites like Code Academy or Udemy is like you pay, and this site you don't need to pay. It's for free. You can learn like languages, also like Java for creating app, and also stuff with Python, other languages. And
Awesome. Thank you, Rabia. That would be great. She put the link in the chat. Something I encourage you guys to do is if you open up your chat, there's a file icon and 3 dots, and you can click Save Chat. So that way you have access to all of these links after, so you can check them out. I also am saving the chat, so I can share these on an LMS message with you guys after too. But just so you guys have easy access, definitely encourage you to save this because this is really helpful. Because yeah, there's, as we can see, a million tools and resources out there that you guys can explore as you do this. So I'm going to transition a little bit just to kind of do a kind of brief overview in terms of some of the kind of wireframing and prototyping options that you guys have. I know some people are interested in kind of drawing it out physically before they kind of move forward to anything else, and others, I know I'm definitely not a good drawer myself, would definitely lean towards an online option to kind of develop things. So I'll get to save you guys a little bit of work later. You guys have, after this call, a wireframing kind of PowerPoint that I have for you guys, but I'm going to kind of go through it briefly with you all just so we can have a conversation around it. Hint, hint, also there's going to be little things from here that are going to be in our Kahoot. So this is just a brief intro into wireframing and prototyping. And we'll, if we have time, we'll also go a little bit into the paper-based resource, which is actually on tomorrow's schedule. So we'll just see how much time we have today. So something that's really helpful to know as we're kind of going through wireframing is that it really is basically a template. Like we've been hearing girls talk about, you can create blocks with these things, you can create fonts and text, so you're kind of setting up what you want it to look like in real time. So it is an illustration of, you know, again, it could be a web page or an app. It does focus on kind of the viewpoint of it and the functionality in terms of kind of even looking into a sign up or a login page, really what you're actually seeing and interacting with. There are some tools that have been mentioned today that do have some kind of colors, or you can add pictures. So it's definitely an option, but I think that's something that you want to work towards. You don't need to necessarily have it on the first draft. You really want to kind of focus on the small pieces first. So again, the prototype, however, is a test or preliminary model of an idea, process, interface, technology, product, or service. So again, it's a more advanced version of the wireframe. which again, some of the tools that we've talked about will allow you to get to that point if you want. In choosing the right idea, obviously, you know, me and other girls are trying to think about which app idea do I really want to go with. So when you're brainstorming all these ideas, these factors are really helpful and important to kind of think about as you're building it out. So first is obviously desirability. So are you actually going to make people's lives better for this app? Is there a real need? And again, we've been kind of going through that process this week and looking at design thinking. What is the problem? We talked about issues in our communities. So we know that whether it's preparing kids for college, or one girl's thinking about doing an app related to sexual harassment, we've realized that these are needs that need to be met. The feasibility is something we're going into now. Like, what can I actually create it? Can I, you know, create the functions? Do I know what really needs to go into that? And viability, will people use it? Will it be sustainable? And again, part of that we can answer in terms of, you know, we know there's a need. So we know that, you know, if we're able to get in touch with our community that's interested in it, they definitely can. And in terms of sustainability, that's kind of follow-on steps in terms of who can we partner with, or what ways can we work towards the actual kind of promotion of the app, if you will. This is a really important part where I think that we can get so excited about the app idea that we're just kind of running with it. But it's really important to not skip that really important step of planning. So again, you know, wireframing is something that's not only just in technology. Artists use it, architects use it. It's, you know, before you code, it's something that's really essential to actually get to the final product. So again, you have two options as you're wireframing. You can draw them out on paper. You can use an online tool. The tools that are out there, obviously, we'll go into paper hopefully a little bit today. Balsamic is something that I've mentioned a few times. There are a bunch of other tools. So something that's really helpful to note too, you can hopefully copy and paste this link. See if I can do that with you guys. So there are tons of, again, it goes into kind of the definitions and things, types and levels of fidelity. So you can kind of see here, like, what do you really want to get out of, you know, this wireframing and prototyping process? You can really see all these different softwares and options. So you can see there's tons out here. So feel free to kind of, you know, peruse. Some of the ones you even mentioned are actually on here. So there's all kinds of resources out there. I do encourage you though, that once you kind of find out one that works for you, definitely just go with it, because everyone's different. So if you find a way or platform that works for you, definitely just roll with it. Sorry, I stopped sharing my screen. Let's go back here. So there are a couple key elements that your wireframe should show. So over the next few days and over the weekend, we're going to provide you guys a bunch of work days to where you kind of are, you'll decide before the weekend really what your app idea is. And you'll take the weekend and early next week to really build out that idea and either use a paper-based or an online or app tool to build out that wireframe. So again, as you're kind of going into that process, think about functionality. What can it actually do? So again, when we were talking before about the app types, that's really what we're talking about. Like, is it education awareness? Is it gamification? What's it actually going to do? So make sure that it shows the functionality. Also the features. That was something that Rabia talked about, was, you know, looking at maps and looking, you know, how Google Maps really in her country doesn't show fully what actually the location she's in at, doesn't include certain streets, that kind of thing. So what are the tools? What are the features? As well as content. So what information are you sharing? Make sure your wireframe demonstrates that, as well as user flow. So how does the pages really work? So if I click on sign up, is it going to bring me to the, you know, the contents, or is it actually going to bring me to a login page where I actually have to put in my email and use, you know, password? It's easy to get distracted by all the cool like tech features that are out there. So again, your can opener doesn't need a Bluetooth. So just think about too, you know, it's fun to make things flashy, but as we're going through it, it's important to know, like, so the user doesn't get distracted by a million things that are going on. So make sure the app is focused on what you actually want to do for it. Let's see. And again, Tama really emphasized this process of, you know, continuing to change your idea, the getting feedback, changing it again, which is again also why we did those breakout rooms of being able to see, oh, what works, what, you know, what are some questions that somebody would have, and build on your idea. I think you guys all have fantastic ideas at this point, which is awesome. So just making changes as you learn and as you use a wireframing tool, if you're like, oh, this actually makes more sense to do, kind of be flexible in that. Some more tips that are really helpful, talking to people who might use your app. So again, sometimes that even can just be kind of Googling. It's just like what apps, again, thankfully we did that app handbook exercise so you guys could see what other apps are out there, and like what you can even look up reviews of, like, did people even like this app? Like, I found this in my app handbook, but was it successful? Did people have a problem with it? That kind of thing. Also, just remember, as we're building out our wireframes, prototypes, it doesn't need to look perfect. It really is an outline of kind of what we're going towards. And also you can incorporate your ideas, and then you can subtract the ones that are realizing it's not really going to serve its purpose. It's definitely better to always have too many ideas and kind of takes away some, rather than, you know, realize I don't have enough ideas. So definitely just keep all those things in mind. Does anyone have any questions so far in terms of the wireframing process? Cool. Well, I'm glad that this was clear then. So just be thinking about, as we're going into the next days where you guys are actually building out your wireframes, whether that's paper-based or online, really keep in mind the functionality, features, content, and user flow, because that's really going to kind of help you stay centered as you're developing this out. Since we have a little bit of time, before we go into Kahoot, I want to go into a little bit of the paper base, as I know several of you are considering kind of going into this process. It's a long document, so I'm just going to hit a couple highlights, and this is something you guys can look into more in depth tomorrow. This is really helpful, honestly, also, even if you're using an online tool, because it really breaks it down step by step. You know, we've already done the brainstorming of the problem, ideas to take it forward. So we're really at the identifying the app features that are beneficial, designing, and pitching. So again, next week, when we all come together, all the different tech girls from their different pathways, we're going to share ideas, and we're going to share kind of what we've gained from the program. And so you guys will be able to share your process of, like, I've identified this is a big issue in my country. I really wanted to, you know, I had this idea of how to kind of help. And so these are the, you know, these are the wireframes. This is the app that I'm starting to design to address that issue. It's really cool to see kind of that whole sequential process begin to happen. So this tool, again, this resource is really great in kind of going into definitions for things, providing activities. And as stellar all-star tech girls that you are, you guys are really trainers in your communities as well. I know you guys are going to go out, you know, into the world and continue to teach others about this kind of thing. So as we go through, like with that Silicon Valley Untold Stories resource, with this resource, these are things you can actually go into your schools and your communities with your friends and actually also teach others. So just keep that in mind as we move forward. So designing an app. So again, this is a really useful kind of paper-based way to do things in terms of breaking it down. What does the app actually do? What does it solve? What is the app aimed for? Again, we kind of know those things, but kind of actually writing it out or like typing it up or something is really helpful. The phone features, think also about those kind of functionality things. So you can, again, use this, you can print it out. I've shared this file with you guys, so you're welcome to use it if you want directly. Again, these are activities that you can do, you know, on your own time if you want tomorrow. Identifying the communities. You all filled out a great survey and kind of sharing out where you're going with your app. So you can use this as well. I know some people want to support rural communities, but it also involves women. That also involves youth. So you can kind of plug those in. So the spotting possible problems. So again, things you wish you knew more about. So again, we've kind of talked through a lot of this stuff. And again, you're filtering through the problems. So again, we're at, you know, the brainstorming solutions where we're, you know, wanting to design a solution. And so again, these are more activities that are really helpful. Something that's going to be really emphasized also when you guys hopefully come to the States next summer is kind of that public speaking pitching element that we're going to go to a little bit. But again, we have such a short amount of time together this summer, we're just kind of going to go over it a little bit. So the idea of not only having the app, but really knowing how we can promote it to others. So, you know, thinking about what if you just had 30 seconds to just kind of pitch your idea? What would you be able to communicate? So again, these breakout rooms and things that we're doing is really helpful to be able to kind of, how do I coherently express my idea? So again, like a great example here, my app is called Zen Studio, creating an app aimed at students to help them wake up earlier by providing them incentives to get up. That's an app I definitely need, and I should use it because I would sleep through all of my alarms. I literally set 5 alarms a morning. My tech girls from last year know this if they slept in the room next to me. So that's definitely something I encourage girls, whether they're doing the paper-based or the online wireframing tool, to go through this activity. It's on page, whatever page this is. It's kind of in the middle of the document. And it's the draft mini elevator pitch. So this is also just really helpful on a professional level when you're introducing yourself. So it's kind of like, instead of my app is called, it's like, okay, my name is, I'm creating an app, or I'm a professional, I'm aspiring to be doing this thing. So with the pitch idea, it really is, what is the app? What's it aimed at? Who's it going to help? And what is it providing? So just kind of think about these things too as we're going forward. This is the perfect template for when we share out our experiences next week with the whole TechGirls cohort. We can literally use this of just like, this is the app I'm doing. This is what I'm aimed at to help people. It's just really clear and helpful, which is awesome. So again, this goes through, you know, all the steps. So creating a user profile, listing users' needs and features. Sorry, skip back up. Yeah, developing a minimum viable product. So again, it's, you know, trying to build the most essential features. So again, you don't want to kind of focus on all the kind of glitz and glam before you actually get the functions down, right? So it kind of keeps going further and further. So some of these things, you know, will show also that this is very viable on paper too. This is really cool to kind of show. Again, you can print this out, which is really fun. So you actually have like the iPhone or the phone in front of you, and you can literally kind of sketch things out if you're interested in that. And again, so I love this, you know, why not keep developing kind of process? So working in teams. I know, again, it's really cool to see that there are girls who are working kind of towards similar projects. It might be in different countries, but even thinking beyond this program of thinking about how can you help each other, of like, Lena's figured out, oh, this really doesn't work when you put this mentor with this user. It needs to kind of have this functionality, or this is a way it's more clear. There are ways that you guys can continue to collaborate. And again, we have a great network of job shadow hosts, of you know, STEM companies and universities. So if you're also looking to get feedback and just kind of show different kind of ideas that you have, as well as potentially get support on that, that's definitely something that we can help you with. So again, this is a very long document. It was a general overview, but does anyone have any kind of thoughts or questions, or just anything they want to share, given the paper-based or more online wireframing tools?
I had a question about like moving on from like the wireframes after like the program is over. It's like we're talking about in our breakout room that like if we want to develop like an app or something, like, we wouldn't really know how to go about that. So is there anyone like within like the tech girl community that could possibly help us or something?
For sure. Yeah, so there's definitely going to be a variety of resources available to you depending on what you're interested in. We have TechGirls alumni who have developed apps before, so we can definitely connect you to girls who have been in the program before, who have successfully gone through that whole process. We also have partners of like large companies like Amazon, like Google, like different companies that we could also connect you to if you wanted to be able to kind of get a professional's opinion on what you're working towards. And again, the TechGirls, program is so well recognized that if you're also looking to kind of develop things, we can definitely connect you to, this is more for international students, but like in terms of your embassies for support, but also in the US, a lot of the, the companies that we partner with as well. So there's a variety of kind of resources that we can direct you towards. For instance, Virginia Tech is one of our strongest university partners in STEM. And we have professors that still work with students. One of the programs we're going to offer you guys after our camp concludes is with a TechGirl alumna who developed the course she's going to teach whoever's interested with a Virginia Tech professor, and she's helped her with like the coding and stuff. So it's really cool to see that because you guys are part of the TechGirls networks, there are tons of resources out there for you guys.
Right.
Awesome. Other questions or thoughts? Are you guys excited, overwhelmed, nervous? Okay, give me a clapping hands if you are like excited about your app prototype moving forward. It's okay if you are not sure. Yay, okay, awesome. Give me a clapping hands if you're also kind of unsure or you're nervous or just trying to kind of still figure things out though. That's, again, not bad. I think I live in that. Awesome. So again, we're all on the same page here. And also this is, again, just like a really fun, awesome experience that I want you guys to just feel excited about it and not, carry enormous pressure about it. Because again, this is just something that you guys are a part of TechGirls. Once a Tech Girl, always a Tech Girl. This is just the start of so much that we can do with you all. So this is not I need to run a sprint to get to this final product by next week. This is the start of a journey. It's a longer marathon that we get to continue to help you with way past this program. So just keep those things in mind. Yeah, you guys are amazing. I love your ideas already. They're going to be awesome. So I want to kind of reinforce our learning with our fun gamification and educational resource Kahoot because I'm obsessed with it. So if you guys can get out your phones or your laptops, I will pull this up here. Of course, I'll share a screen. Once I have it up, I'm gonna host it again. See if this will pop up. Let's do classic. Okay, here we go. Oh, the music's back. Okay. So you go to kahoot.it or the Kahoot app, and then you're gonna put in the game pin. Right. Get some more people on there. A couple more people gotta hop on. All right, I think we just have 3 more girls who gotta hop on. All right. Who else still needs to hop on? There we go. Okay. I think we are missing 2 people, if I'm right. Missing. If there's anyone who hasn't been able to hop on, oh, I'm lean. That's right. Lean bean machine over here. Okay. Anyone else? Oh, we have people hop off. You guys able to hop back on? Dilyara, are you able to hop on? Chat. The message Dilyara. Fine. All right. Anyone want to unmute yourself and let me know if you have any issues? If not, we'll go ahead and get started in a second. All right, I think we're going to go ahead and get started. Feel free to continue to guess on your own if you're not able to hop on. Great. Are you on now? Let's see if Dilyara is able to hop on. There we go. Okay, great. Let's get started. Perfect. Okay, here we go. So again, be thinking about that wireframing resource we went through. True or false? Wireframe is an illustration of a web page or an app. True or false? I also give you guys more time this time because it was so fast last time. Probably go to the other extreme and now you guys are just gonna be sitting waiting for the answers instead of racing to the end. Yay, amazing. Okay, you guys did so good. Beautiful. Let's do the next one. So who's in charge? All right, Addison, amazing. Ruhi, Salma, Alyssa. Alyssa? Yes, okay, Alyssa, you're still on here, good. And then Ikram. Awesome. A prototype is a less advanced version of a wireframe. Is that true or false? This music is so dramatic, oh my gosh. Is that gonna be you guys this weekend with your cup of coffee and all your app papers? So it is indeed false. So the wireframe is the first step in terms of just building out literally the kind of the functions and the text, and the prototype is a slightly more advanced version. Awesome. All right, Addison, still in for the win. We got Salma creeping up to the top, watch out. Ruhi, Yasmin, oh wow, look at you, you're so official. And Sazim. So this is a trickier one. Which factors do you have to consider while you brainstorm ideas? What are those three elements?
Isn't the orange and the green the same?
Oh my God, it is. Let me. I made this last night. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Yeah, so I guess we'll see what it is. I need to check. Let's actually check it now. Where is it? Oh, it's here. Sorry. Who is? There we go. All right, let's check it actually. I'm gonna spoil it and give the answer. I guess. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm messing you all up. Desirability, feasibility. Yep, it's both of these, so they should both be correct. Apparently, it's the gold one, but it's also the green. Sorry, guys. I hope you still love me. Okay. Wow, Sazim just crawled on up there. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry, guys. The greens are still right, too. I promise you. Okay. Thank you, Ruhi. Before you build an app, you don't have to plan it out. Is that true or false? All right, yes, that's what I like to see. Ooh, Addison's trying to come back up, take the win. Ibtihal's now in the running, I love it. Okay, you can take a high or low tech approach to wireframing. Is that true or false? Yes, amazing. So you can do either one. Paper-based is considered a low tech, and then obviously any online tool is considered a higher tech option. Okay. Awesome. What should your wireframe show? Hopefully these are all different. Oh crap! No, they are different for you. Okay. Try to make some of them tricky. No, you guys already answered. You're on it. Yes, so it is indeed functionality, features, content, and user flow. So if we go back to here, yeah. So as you're building out your apps, you really want to make sure those are the four kind of aspects. So the functionality, what it's actually doing, features, what are the tools, content, and user flow. So again, you can think back to even to our app types exercise. You know, what would that fire saving app do? You know, it would be location tracking, so people could share where the fire was at. So I'm sure it would include a map, the content, all that kind of thing. Awesome. Okay. Ooh, Addison coming up. I mean, Alina, Ibtihal, Sazim, Ruhi. What is going to happen? We are so close to the end. We're at 7 to 10. What's the definition? These are on it today, yes. So you do want to keep changing your mind. You want to get feedback, and you want to continue to change it. So if we go back to our cute little PowerPoint, it's important to not get too attached to our ideas so that we can build it out. We can kind of get this tunnel vision of what it needs to look like and miss out on some great ideas if we do that. Okay. Awesome. Okay. What are other important tips for wireframing? Wow, yes, amazing. So yeah, incorporating all your ideas, subtracting the ones that don't add value. I love it. Great job, guys. Very cool. Second to last one, you should not talk to people who might use your app. Do not get their input. Is that true or false? Nice, yes. Y'all are amazing. Wow, yes. Okay, the final one. Your wireframe is a sketch. It doesn't have to look perfect. Yes, that is true. It doesn't need to look perfect. It is just the building of the base, if you will. All right, let's see it. Let's see the podium. Yes, Ittihal. Amazing, Lena. I love how dramatic this is. Yay! Amazing. And congrats to Alyssa and Yasmin as well. Congrats to all of you guys. You guys did really great. Thank you. I love it. Cute little dancing names. Amazing. Yay. All right, let's make this music and there we go. Okay, there we go. I love it. Thank you guys so much for indulging me. You know I love my Kahoot. I hope that was fun and helped kind of reinforce the wireframing aspects. So I want to just go through a few. Oh yes, thank you. Screenshot, amazing. We will definitely do a screenshot. You guys are the best. Looking out for me. And I'll also go through a couple of announcements. So yeah, let's do the screenshot since I'm actually being reminded of it now. You can turn on your camera if you want to be seen in the picture. And we'll get that set up. Why don't you take a minute to do that? You all look so beautiful today. Takamina is the ghost today. There we go. There she is. I'm going to make sure we can see her.
1 minute, 1 minute.
You'll have to pause at some point so we can put your beautiful face. Celine, you are currently sideways. You are welcome to be sideways in the picture if you want, because you're a queen and you can do whatever you want. But if you want to turn yourself, you absolutely can too. Maybe we can just confuse everyone. Lean lives on a sideways world. All right, we are gonna count down 3, 2, 1. So we'll just take one picture. All right, 3, 2, 1, smile. Yay, I love this one. It's beautiful. As always, I will send it to you guys. You guys can post it. Thank you so much for the reminder. So just a couple of quick announcements for you guys. And I think we actually might get out a few minutes early, which is crazy. So first, thank you all so much for everyone who's been submitting to our compliment jar. So again, that's just an opportunity for girls to be able to provide affirmations for each other and really just share positive things about other tech girls. So you can still submit something to me in a private message, whether that's on a Zoom call or whether that's on LMS. But of course, you can also do it on our Google form. It's probably the easiest way to do it. Also, we realized we have multiple Yasmins and multiple Salmas and multiple other names in our program. So try to be specific of which tech girl you mean. If not, we'll just send it to all the Salmas and all the Yasmins because they're all amazing. But please be sure to fill that out over the next days, just so we can make sure that all our tech girls get great affirmations to take away from the program. So that's the Google form to fill out. Another one that I'm going to pull up for you guys too is we have our second Global Cafe this Saturday, which we're really excited about. We'll do some more dialogues on different topics that you guys can vote on. So if you haven't already filled that out and you want to join, please feel free to do so. I know with Eid, some of you guys will not be able to make it, which is totally fine. This is the forum in case you want to join us. We are going to have a special guest join us at 11:30 to 12 Eastern time. So she worked with NASA. Her name is Uma Verna. So she'll be with us from 11:30 to 12. So she has worked with the Coalition for Deep Space Exploration as a researcher for NASA, worked for the International Space Station program. She has helped create the Lunar Gateway program, and she does a lot of awesome work in everything space engineering kind of ways. And so she's also going to be answering some of your questions. So in that Google form, you can also, if you want to submit a question in advance, I'll be sending her kind of a list of some of the top questions. I will be recording that session, that part of the session. It's a 2-hour call from 10 to 12, so I won't record the whole thing, but I'll record the time that we have with Uma. So if you can't join us, you can watch the recording later. And she also has been kind enough, she'll provide, LinkedIn or an email address or something. So if you want to follow up with her after, you definitely can. But yeah, so that is a resource there. And then just looking ahead, I'm going to share my screen one more time. So obviously today is Thursday. Thank you all so much for submitting your different app ideas. If you haven't already, I know there's a couple of you who still need to kind of send what you are working towards for your app wireframing and prototype. So please be sure to do that before the weekend if you haven't already. Today we just have a discussion board on just kind of the reflection of our app ideas now that we have some more resources on wireframing and have gotten some feedback from each other. Just share some reflections there. We've already gone through this wireframing and prototyping, so you don't have to go through it again unless you want to. And we've gone through part of the paper-based, but I encourage you to go through it in detail tomorrow just because there's some great activities that will really help you in your development process, and you can really focus on building out your idea using your different tools. And again, you're going to discuss those things. So continue to share resources as you find them, collaborate with each other, and continue to get feedback. You also can always message me if you want my feedback on anything, so feel free to do that. And then over the weekend, you're going to learn a little bit more about app pitching, and there's a template that you can use if you want, which is great. And there's some really cool just resources I'll have for you guys on different STEM careers and things you can take a look at if you want. And then again, I'm going to ask you guys to submit on Sunday another kind of draft of your app prototype and pitch deck to me. And we're going to have some more follow-on resources for wireframing. And on Monday, we're going to be sharing out just within our own pathway, just ourselves, about kind of our app wireframes prototypes. And we'll be getting some more feedback. And then obviously on Tuesday is when everybody gets together and shares out their experiences and their kind of projects. And then on Wednesday, we have our closing ceremony. So it's already coming on so fast, which is crazy. So we'll be sharing with you the part 3 course. So this is part 2. So we'll be sharing that with you probably over the weekend. So we'll send you guys some communications on that. Anyone have any questions about the schedule? I just wanted to give you guys kind of a heads up of where we're headed. Everything makes sense? Yay! Well, please feel free as always to let me know if you have any questions at all. I'm here for you guys. But you all are so amazing, so beautiful. You make my day every day. I was definitely tired this morning and I needed a lot of coffee, and I slept through my alarm and I was just like, oh my gosh, I have so much to do. And then I got to hop on this call and see your beautiful faces. So you guys just made my day. So thank you all so much. You always do. And I'll share this recording with you guys too, in case you want to watch it after if you want to see anything that you may have missed. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.
Bye.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone. Have a good one.
Bye.
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 Bye.